Greetings.
Hey Nina girl, how you doing?
I am well. How about you?
I'm good.
That's good.
Oh man.
Yeah, I love that you be early. I usually open up a little early, but I was watching.
Mhm. Yeah, sit on my floor today.
What you been up to?
Man, so last weekend we were in Vegas and I just been trying to catch up this past week. But my basil plant is doing so good. I talk to it every day.
Oh,
I'm excited. I need to plant my other stuff. I didn't want to do it before we went to Vegas because then I was like, I'm not going to be here. So
right.
I'm going to do it today after class.
When people tell me they plant and then they go out of town, I was just being
Yeah,
shocked.
right.
Like, so
Right.
what your plants doing while you're
Right.
gone?
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
that's good.
Growing up, I had a neighbor, and she would always travel, and we would always make sure her plants were watered. Like she would call my mother, like, "I'm going out of town. Do you mind watering my plants?" And it was such a thing. Like I don't know. Like to me, it's like second nature. Like you need to water your plants, but other people they just go out and like
And then get back and your plants just
yeah, right.
yeah.
Yep. How's everything with you?
I stayed out in the garden all yesterday. I was so tired. It was crazy. I tend to get overwhelmed when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to gardening. So I bought all the dirt. I'm like, yeah, got everything. And I'm looking at it like, ugh.
It's a lot, right? You like,
Yeah.
I did the first part and not the second part. Girl, it's
Yeah.
a sad thing. It's a sad thing.
Yeah. So I was overwhelmed looking at it and I decided it's like, okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
you do have assistance. Cause in
Mm-hmm.
my mind it's like, dang, why don't nobody want to help? And it's like, cause you haven't asked for help.
Right.
So I asked a couple of my friends to come over and help. I
Oh,
asked my
cool.
friend, and
Nice.
then she brought her friend. And
Mm-hmm.
so everything got done within a matter of hours.
I
And
love that.
they were ready. It was so funny. I'm
Yes.
like, they're like, what's next?
Yes, that is so dope.
Yeah, we got it done. I'm like, Sash doesn't like asking for help. So,
We want to do it on our own. It's the hardest thing for me to do. The
mhm.
hardest. I just be like, I just figure it out. I'll figure it out.
It was like a breakthrough. I'm so
Mhm.
grateful. And then I was thinking, okay, why don't you ask for help? You say, don't nobody want to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're
Hmm.
kind of sort of.
That's oh, I need to work on that too, girl.
Yeah, it's one of those things. For me, it was just a light bill came on yesterday.
Hmm.
It's like, ask for help because we were supposed to be going walking to some type of trail.
Hmm.
And that would have been okay, but looking at the work, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be
Yeah.
done.
Yep.
So it was a breakthrough yesterday. So to
That's
answer your
good.
question, yeah, I'm doing
Mhm.
well. I'm glad everything got. The watermelons are so tall and sprouting thing.
Really? Already?
Yeah, they are huge, and I feel so bad because I'm trying to wait for the new moon
Hmm.
to transplant them outside, and I'm
Yeah.
like, they are tall.
Yeah. I wait, quick question.
Okay,
I meant to text you about this the other day.
yeah, feel free to
We
tell
have
me.
groundhogs. Like where I live, there's a groundhog. It's a known groundhog. My neighbor, she has a garden in front of her house and she had put up wire, but the groundhog still gets into
Mhm.
it. Do you know of any like plants that will, or I'm like
Mhm.
difficult with
No,
the groundhog?
you know what? What I do, or what I have done, I didn't do it this time. Can't flex.
Hmm.
Like in your gardening area, if everything is compact, well, yeah, packed
Hmm.
in, they
Hmm.
don't tend to come into that area because I have a lot of containers. And so with the containers, it's like, okay, that's cool. But I did think about that because we have one too that leaves
Hmm.
mounds of dirt in the yard. So
Yeah.
what I did was took the chicken wire. and put it down where I'm gonna grow so they can't burrow up.
Gotcha. Okay.
I felt bad because it did get stuck in the grass, like the grass grew. And then we came back and had to pull it all up. So, but it did make a difference, I think, because he never burrowed in there.
Gotcha.
I use chicken wire for everything, though. People like chicken wire? Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna look into that because it was last year. The whole neighborhood, like the guy, my neighbor across the street, he was like, because apparently the groundhog has like made a home on our property, like in front of our house, because we have big bushes.
Right.
And they were like, no, we want to put a trap out. So do you mind if we put a trap on your property? Because her garden is getting messed up. And every time she plants, I was like, this is a lot.
Right. Y'all need to back up.
They put the trap out with like lettuce and stuff. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know why I thought y'all was going to catch the groundhog. The groundhog just stuck his hand in and took the lettuce. Like, come on now.
I see people putting those traps out, and I'm thinking, that's not going to work.
Yeah, that's not it.
It's not like he's going to stay. He does dig up on the ground.
Right. So.
But anytime he digs and leaves a pile, I try to take the pile and put it in the garden.
Yeah.
Minerals. So
right.
Yeah. But I do think about what if he does so many tunnels to the ground caves in. I'd be out there.
For real. That's what I'm like. Our bushes are so big that like we don't know what's under. Like, like dang, it's a lot. I'm nervous for this season because I'm like, oof.
Don't be nervous. Just think prevention. That's that's how I go about it. Because I did think about it. I'm like, dang. But we got squirrels and all that. So the chicken wire for me is like the go-to. This year I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go and buy another roll of the wire because the squirrels just be acrobatic. They don't care.
Yes.
And I'm doing berries this year. And so other gardeners talk about the birds. Protect the berries because the birds, they saying you gotta pick them fast because if not, it's a serious business.
Oh man, you know what you could probably do, like, because I love the fact that you always are like you talk about respect, right, for like the plants and the animals, birds, everybody, they're a part of the ecosystem too. So I think what I'm going to do is like leave some for them and then kind of like protect the other part because I don't want to mess up their natural, ecosystem.
Yeah, I think about that too. This guy was saying the more you leave and try to respect nature's balance is the more they'll come. He's like, so then you're being overrun with animals that know you're gonna feed them. So then you have to decide, is that a good or bad thing? His issue was deer. And so he was talking about how if you do plant a tree or a shrub that's specifically for them to eat on, it's just gonna draw them in from everywhere. Yeah, I didn't even think about that but it's true because with the chicken house. Okay, so we built a chicken house. We feed the chickens. The other birds are coming now more and more. It's like the bird.
Like, they didn't put the bird call out.
Yes, and so we have a lot of birds on the property, and then in the house, sometimes we'll go in there and another bird has laid an egg.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's just like making a place animal friendly is cool if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because now the chicken food is running out more and more. It's really weird. I'm gonna get started in a minute. I'm trying to get people to 115. But yesterday we were out fixing a ramp. And we had lost 2 chickens when we first bought 4. We bought 4. We ended up with 2. And so we were like, dang, it must have been a hawk. We just don't blame the hawk. Chicken hawk came down and got chicken. So yesterday we pulled up the ramp, girl. It was this big snake. And then it was the chicken's bones.
Wow.
The whole body.
Wow.
The wing was even separated. I'm trying to move this so it won't interfere with the sound.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the wing was off. It was so sad. I'm like,
what?
And I don't know if they went up. Well, they did used to go up under the sheds.
Yeah.
Like, get off and under there.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe they got on there and the snake started rapping and they couldn't. But then after that, the space was so small. So I'm like, how much chicken was still on the bone for you to drag? You know? It was so I thought about that all night. I was worried about the chickens all night. I'm like,
I gotta prevent them from going.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get some more mothballs, and every time I think about it, throw some mothballs. Snakes don't like mothballs. Throw that in the chicken coop. But most definitely, we gotta find that snake.
Yeah, and then cocoa at all costs, girl.
Girl, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, dang, and that's what I was thinking. Well, Coco,
right? Protect Coco at all costs.
Yeah, Coco's sitting in the hen house like, girl, I'm gonna go to bed. I ain't got time.
Right.
And so what I did yesterday was put mothballs up on the all-day pads because I bought them the pads. And so I'm just thinking, now I gotta go in with a whole plan about this snake. And we do kill them, but I still feel bad because it's like, snake, it's been around longer than you.
It's a garden snake, right?
Girl, we be having copperheads too, though.
What? Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen one, but my neighbor always says they're in her yard.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's one thing that I can't do, a snake.
They are so beautiful but scary. Ray was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you a snake killer, not me. I don't want
to from a distance, but I respect them. But
girl, it was big too. It's like, dang, you ate that whole chicken. Right. And we missing two. So I'm thinking, is the other one up under the shed?
Yeah, right.
It was like one day they was just gone. And
that's crazy.
My son was like, Mom, do you want me to get the feet? No, Pharaoh. Don't get the feet from the chicken. Right. He's already suffered. But yeah.
You know, a chicken foot always come in handy, Joe.
Girl, I have a couple from Snow White passing. Like, what do I do with them? I was gonna decorate them, like with some glitter. Because when I go to New Orleans, that's what I see. But it's like, do I buy some special? I seen the nails being painted.
Yeah. Yep.
So you seen that too?
It's in like the voodoo tradition. It's like I think it can be used in different ways, like protection.
And that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Hang it by the front door.
Yeah. Or a horseshoe.
Yeah, I have a horseshoe out back. When I chose this house, I knew I wanted something very old. So it was built in 1966. Like hair dropping. So she had horseshoes. She had just a lot of stuff that you can tell that she was, a medicinal woman. We got catnip in the yard, all the herbs, the garden pots up front. All that was there. And it was just like I had so many flower pots that was left here too.
Yeah.
It was like a garden table. I didn't want to get outside, really. Girl, it was just stuff that you can tell she really liked nature. She bought it. There was a young couple that moved here, and they didn't stay here long because the husband used to be at work all the time, and she was scared to be here at night by herself. Yeah, and so they sold it real quick, and it was like destiny.
Right.
I'm shuffling the cards. I'm gonna pull the card, get it. Like how? Okay, let me text Lisa.
Yeah.
Somebody saying, "Hey, where's the link?"
That's so funny. Like I was like, "Oh, let me rush home and get home by 1." I'm thinking.
No,
Like I
I
can change my alarm back.
appreciate it because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let me go and hop on here. Yeah, how do I shut a link? Copy. Let me just post a link. I be trying to get people to click the email because
Yeah. It
but
takes you
it's
right there.
yeah. But it's like, okay, that's not working. So link, boom, boom. Okay. We gotta get this show on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I got a excited to show y'all what got done yesterday. It was magical. I'm like, ooh, y'all really helped me.
Right.
Like, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it.
That full moon.
Girl, I was hyped. I was ready. I was like, oh, all you gotta do is ask.
Look at you. You got rid of your old way of thinking during the full moon.
Right.
That's crazy. It'd just be so simple. Things come together.
Right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings.
Hey,
Greetings.
Vanessa. Hey, girl.
Hey y'all.
How you doing?
All right. Everyone. Just getting back home. How y'all doing?
I'm good.
We are well talking about this yard. Yesterday was like a epiphany for me. You know, Sage don't like to ask for help. And so I'm looking at all that dirt. I'm like, man, just anxiety. I didn't want to touch it. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a lot. And so I always be like, well, I don't have no help. Don't nobody want to help with the garden. Girl, self said, well, did you ask for help? So my homegirl, we were supposed to be going hiking. And so I called her back and I was like, don't you just want to come over here? This is a workout. I really need the help. And she brought her friend. And girl, that stuff got done so fast. I was like so grateful. I'm like, thank y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That's a blessing.
Yeah.
How's your garden coming along?
All my shit died when I left.
No. Oh, dang.
I was
Really?
gone. Yeah, I was gone for way too long. I was gone for
Oh,
7 days.
man.
So I just got back and I have 2 watermelon and 2 cantaloupe.
Dang.
Let me see. Let
Um
me pin it.
I
Hold on.
I don't know what this is. I forget what I think this is tomato. It was just random from when me cutting a tomato and the seeds fell out of the tomato and I just
Wow.
put it in some soil
Mm-hmm.
and parsley.
At least you still got some stuff though.
Yeah.
My green onions I always cut and regrow my green onions, so
Yeah.
they're gonna always just be there.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. We just were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Just was
Yeah, I
talking
need to cut this basil because this look like it's gonna try to die. I can at least get like maybe 5, 6 good plants out of this basil. Yeah,
Well, that's a good thing. Basil grows fast. You clip
yeah.
those leaves, they gonna grow back bushy tail and bright eyed.
Yeah, my strawberries and what else? Tomatoes are still growing. I cut down. You
You said you cut down what? Hey Lisa. It's breaking up. You said you cut down what?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I said I cut down my string beans yesterday. I cut them down. It had produced like a few more. But I wanna redo it. I had did some more basil out here, and yeah. But my tomato plant, I know I should cut it. I want to start. I was just looking on Instagram at different videos of the ones the tomato plants that the ones that just grow, the sucker ones, the extra. Something was eating at my tomato plant. I had to cut that.
Oh,
Dang.
they still babies. Look at the
Yeah,
strawberries. Come through, strawberry.
yeah.
Wow, they look good.
Yeah.
And I'm scared to start mine.
Nuh-uh, just do it. Even if you buy this strawberry and tomato plant was bought at the 99-cent store for like $1.50, and I just been taking care of it. I just changed the soil out, changed the potting, and I know I need to change the potting again because they're getting big. So
Yeah, I was gonna say your tomatoes look good too.
yeah, it already got like a little two of them right here that want to start. They
Oh,
flowering.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you about the tomatoes. Have you still been having a problem with the slugs?
Nope.
So
Nope,
what
I
did
cut them. I trimmed it. I trimmed it, so it was a bunch of leaves down here, and I just took. I was just watching a bunch of videos on Instagram to trim the bottom stalk so
yeah.
that the bugs don't eat if it does decide to produce down here. So I just
hmm
cut it, and I haven't had a problem since.
Yeah, I was reading and it was saying also that if it's a really moist area, they'll come.
Hmm.
And some people take lines and draw salt lines or circles around the plants.
Hmm.
Yeah. I got strawberry sprouts. All my stuff is sprouting up. I'm looking forward to the watermelons.
Oh
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah,
I
I
got
want to go to the store right now and go get me some more. I just want to make me a little pretend raised bed. Just go get some wood, go
mhm.
get some wood, and just make me one over here. Hi, Jaden.
You should. Okay, y'all. I pulled the card for today. Definitely something different. And this card is number 42, which is Kayeni. Each other we find ourselves. Let's definitely on point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna read what it says. Is anybody else growing and got something growing y'all want to share?
It's my favorite plant. Go get it. It's not. It is that much.
You were saying something about take care of your house plants too. So my manager, she gave me her some house plants, but I'm not really sure how to take care of the house plants.
Let me see.
Um, it was like 6 or 8 of these,
Oh, that's
but
nice.
It
but
looks
I
like
don't know how to
a pythos.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know how to take care of these. Pythos? Okay, so I'm gonna have to Google that.
yeah, it's just low maintenance, really. They just want room to bind. They don't like being in big plants. This is the one in my office, but it's also known as the American Indian money plant. So it draws in money as well.
Mm,
It's really low maintenance. You just keep the
let,
soil slightly moist. Let me see the other one.
let me take care of these goddamn plants right now. Come on, bring it in.
Get them babies, take them on, do what you got to do with them.
Yeah, she just gave them to me because she didn't know how to take care of it. So,
That is so funny. Like we was just talking about how like the older generation, they had like a lot of like, metaphysical type plants. My great grandmother used to love a pythos plant. Okay.
Right,
Her
right,
house was full of stuff. Like,
absolutely.
and it was just so so normal. It wasn't like a big thing. It was just like, keep this in your house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something that is indigenous to here.
Mm-hmm.
I have two in the living room. And I got these plants from going to a restaurant that had huge pythons and just pinching it off on the way out the door.
Yep.
And I started with a branch and put it in water. And so now I have 3 of them. They are very low maintenance.
Yep.
So I'm surprised these leaves are just huge. They shocked me.
Big.
Yeah, they were very small at first. And then the ones at the restaurant were huge. And I'm like, dang, what did y'all do to the python? Okay, so let me read this card, y'all. I'm so excited to get outside. I just want to get everything in here done first. So of course, those of you who partake in the herbs, we're gonna light up as we read our card. I know everybody don't, but I do. So okay, so in each other we find ourselves. There is a spiritual purpose that only you can fulfill. As you move forward on your journey, you create a space for others to move along beside you or behind you.
Mm-hmm.
As the ones ahead of you move forward, so too does room open up for your expansion. Upon this earth, we are all building the sacred temple, each fulfilling our task as we assist and support each other in our collective divine mission. How can you help with your heart most actively engaged? What can you offer which inspires and energizes you so much that others are uplifted in your presence? How can you receive from others joyfully, bringing them pleasure? Engage in giving and receiving deeply with devotion. Your wisdom and openness to life generates healing for our earth. And it's just so on point because it's like I said, I don't ask for help. And then I start swimming in, and I be swimming too. I be having anxiety. I'm like, maybe I bit off more than I can chew. I mean, I go through the emotions, and so this is definitely on point. And yesterday, I'm out there in the beaming hot sun, and then myself was like, "You don't really ask for help, girl." What are you talking about? And so, that's definitely something to ponder for me. I don't know if y'all, if y'all taking some people around you and just not asking for help. Do that. When you're gardening, you'll be surprised where your help comes from. And then I really didn't have to do that. They were just like, they took them bags of dirt and they were tossing them like they've been lifting weights for the last 5 years. I'm like, okay. And these women are well over 50. So it really made me feel bad. I was like, I need to get on their vibration. So, in spiritual guidance, the first peoples of Australia recognize sacred connectedness between the spiritual and the earthly, and the bond that exists between all beings. They refer to this as Kanyini, and in South Africa, the concept of Ubuntu describes a universal bond connecting all of humanity. Ubuntu and Kanyini honor the understanding that the individual grows and develops, flourishes, and expresses purpose and meaning in connection with the greater guiding purpose of the collective. To honor Kayini, to honor Ubuntu, means to honor ourselves and each other as we seek out and fulfill our purpose for the greatest good. Our purpose is what brings our being to life, what we feel must naturally do. There's loving and healing genius in the divine design and in the fulfillment of our authentic spiritual destiny. So are all beings assisted in the fulfillment of their destiny too. There are times when the spiritual path requires separation from a collective and the consciousness it holds. We may feel an internal disconnection from society during such phases as we sift through the societal conditioning, casting aside that which does not strike us as truth and seeking in alternative views. As we distill our consciousness, we discover a new way to be. Then, when it is time, we naturally seek to live and share this internal truth with others. We reach out to our tribe or discover new tribes, integrating into the social fold with our pressure offering of rare field awareness. We realize that conflict with societal values serves a purpose. It helps us to clarify our own consciousness so we're growing stronger spiritually, psychologically, and emotionally. Our offering to our communities that can then become a numinous alchemical wisdom. Now, I'm like, this is why I had not been reading the whole thing. It's like, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm almost done, y'all. A person in alignment with Kayeni becomes a conduit for the intelligence of life itself. Their personal journey has a transpersonal effect. They become sacred activists at a deep level of being, and through their presence, things happen. They become a natural catalyst for healing and transformation. A human enriched with Ubuntu is open to others, encouraging of the good in other human beings. That makes sense. They are self-assured, knowing that they have an inviolable place and purpose in life. They understand that they can only gain from assisting others. So the spiritual progress of another person and the sacred empowerment that comes from it is inspirational rather than a source of jealousy or self-doubt. Now, in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the principles of Kayeni and Ubuntu are found in the Bodhisattva vow, where great souls plunge themselves into sacred service for the spiritual liberation of all sentient beings. These teachings help us evolve from a competition to the realization that the moment another is oppressed, denied, or diminished, suffering is released into the collective. The more sensitive we are spiritually, the more we recognize this, and the more motivated we become to serve the evolution of humanity for all the benefit of all beings. Now, Kayeni reminds us that we can't thrive as human beings in isolation. Our humanity happens in connection with others through our relationships to the good, to the great, to the earth and great spirit. Spirit wants this for each of us. We are provided the grace to heal wounds and open our hearts so that we discover our belonging to each other and to the divine. And through this, an authentic and compelling sense of devotion to purpose that heals our world. So what this is saying to me is just reminding me of the age of Aquarius. A lot of people talk about building community, but not a lot of people are out there building. It's a hot topic in the conscious community. And it's good we're having a conversation, but we still have to connect. We have to connect. Even if you're a person that is behind the scenes, you don't like being on camera, whatever your thing is, you have to channel that Leo, wherever it is in your chart, and be able to be out there talking about it and being about it. And so that's what it reminds me of. Just us gardening together. Like I said, once you leave this class, it's my intention that you can then hone in on your skill and go and teach others. If we don't all start back gardening as a collective, we all stay dependent on a food system that is not even producing real food at this point. And so they are holding, and I don't know if you all know, I'm gonna share it, all of the heirloom seeds are being held in a vault in Utah. And so if you don't go out and seek out seeds, sooner or later they won't be available on the market. And they're doing this with their own intentions. And so that's why I do take gardening very serious. In this season, I'm really a beast because I'm out there actually, and I don't just go and buy like packs of seeds. I go and spend a good $50 on seeds every season. And I want to share with you all today my system. I did a live this week. It was last minute. Nobody hopped on. I was on there singing, so I didn't put it up. I be singing and listen to my music. And so I do want to share that with you all. You have to take care of the seeds. You have to make sure you're holding the integrity of the seeds, because seeds do dry out. Most people say maybe a 3 to 5 year holding, but I'm just like, that can't be true, because they are holding all of the heirloom seeds in a vault. And if they ever expired, why would they be holding them in a vault? It's the narratives that they push. So you'll keep getting rid of them or whatever. And so it was my mission to go out and find out, how do you get seeds, store them properly, and also if they've been stored for a long time, how do you bring those seeds back? And so what I've been using a lot this season is regular peroxide. I'm doing water sprouting. And so with this, I give my seeds a whole week to sprout. And if they haven't sprouted in about a week, I'll add a couple of drops of peroxide. Anywhere from, depending on how big the seed, how hard the outer shell is, anywhere from, I say 5 to 15 drops, and not in much water. And you give it another day, and 9 times out of 10, the seed begins to sprout. Now, if after a couple, maybe 3 days, it still doesn't sprout, because I had some marijuana seeds, and maybe after 5 days they still didn't sprout, I did change out the water, and then I added a couple more drops and gave it a couple more days. Some seeds are very hard, and so just the goal overall, honor these seeds, treat the seeds like it's the real currency. I remember we had this discussion, I think in one of our TLC groups, and Amina was just saying how the seeds will be the currency in the future, because they are messing with the integrity of all of our fruits and vegetables. And so when you go out, look for heirloom seeds. I'm gonna get my little seed kit so I can show y'all how to store them, and then we're gonna move forward with the plant biology so we can get outside.
Hey, Nina.
Mm-hmm.
Far as the peroxide, you said 15 drops. Are you putting this in water and then putting the water and the peroxide inside the seed, the seed plant, or are you just doing 15 drops of peroxide into the soil?
Let me show you. Some people do use the peroxide in the soil. I don't. But just, this is what I'm sprouting in. And so this is a glass jar. And if these seeds had not sprouted already, girl, I'd be so amazed with the power of water, right? This is regular distilled water. That's the water I use to sprout with. But if this had not sprouted, I would just take the peroxide, and I ain't gonna act like I'd be having a measure. It's the ancestors with me, and I just squirt a couple of drops. And then
Okay.
you keep looking at it every day. This smells so good, y'all. Smell like some good old peas. I'm from Georgia, okay? So they all sprouted.
Wow.
Just in distilled water. And the reason why I'm doing water sprouting is because I'm a nerd. I am very geeky when it comes to this. I want to see where the taproot is coming from on each thing that I'm growing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like when you're just planting and you don't know where the root is going to come from, then sometimes you'll prevent that seed from sprouting because of your positioning. I was speaking with another gardener about watermelon and how we had planted a lot of it last year. And what he was saying is the common mistake with people in planting watermelon is they don't place the seed properly in the soil. And so the pointed end is what you will put down in the dirt. That's what I'm doing with all my little seeds, my little babies. I'm just sprouting them and just trying to, like I say, you have to be a scientist in gardening. Just want to see where the root is coming from. So the more you do it, the more you know, the better you become.
Right. And you know what I wanted to say? I know Karen Nissa said that she was going to make her a bed, a raised garden bed. So I don't know if you guys know, but when you do make your raised garden bed, after you do that, make sure you put on put linseed oil on there. That helps to protect the wood in the elements.
Does that affect like?
That does not affect the food. No, that's the first. That was the first thing I had to make sure, because when I made my raised garden beds, I did do some research far as the linseed oil. I meant the linseed oil.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and matter of fact, I think I'm gonna have it. Let me go get the container so you can see what it looked like. Hold on.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over our herb of the week. Soon as I can put my hands on the book.
Let's see. Oh, here it goes. That's what it looks like.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yep. Boiled. Yep.
Boiled linseed oil. Okay.
And I had got this on at Walmart. They had it on clearance, and when I saw it, I was like, "Oh gosh!" They knew I was looking for this.
Right. Look at the universe.
You know what I mean?
Coming through for you over and over.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, okay, let me
Okay. Yeah, I went to look for something that was right next to me. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so this week our herb of the week. Last week I just had to post it. Since I just bought some blackberry, I'm planting blackberries and blueberries this season. I don't want to just have watermelon, even though it's my favorite. It ain't everybody's favorite. And so I went out and got a couple of bushes. And so today, our herb of the week is the blackberry. And so they just taste so good to me. And berries are very good for women, heart health, and also when it comes to the uterus and the toning of the uterus. And so the medicinal parts of the blackberry will be the fruit, the stems, and the leaves. The solvents would be tobacco or water. These are two things that you can use to create blackberry products. The bodily influence is this astringent and a tonic. Just said that. And so you can make a tincture with it, but most people eat it. When we're talking about tinctures, we're talking about using alcohol with a high concentrated alcohol percentage in it, and you're taking those plants and you're placing the plants in the alcohol. Some people use oils. I use both tinctures and oils, and leaving that in there for a certain period of time. But just keep in mind when we're dealing with plants, it is better to just receive the food versus doing different things to it. But sometimes, you got to do what works for you. So like I said, the medicinal parts would be the whole plant, except for the flowers, the fruit, the stems, and the leaves. And what uses blackberries are listed as an astringent, as a remedy agent, and are much more medicinally serviceable than is understood to most of our generation. American Indians used the berries as a food and medication. And today we know from their history and clinical studies that the plant is highly useful for children's chronic diarrhea, dysentery, cholera, and summer complaints, and is sometimes the only thing that produces results. For 4 or 5 times a day, a decoction of the root or the leaves or both, the root being more astringent than the leaves, may be used openly. This agent is useful in prolonged administration and very productive in fevers and hot distempers of the body, ears, skin, and other parts, pleasing to the mouth. The berries can be turned into aspics, brandy, jam, jelly, as well as vinegar, and have cordial properties. And so I will be posting this in the tarot. It just goes into what the dosage would be. And also the swollen and outwardly rubbed leaves can serve as an astringent for hemorrhoids. You can gargle the tea of the roots and leaves regularly for sore mouth and an inflamed throat. And they may be used either green or dried. And so for me personally, I use a dehydrator just because when I first started out having this herb garden, I used to be having herbs everywhere hanging, and it just annoys my husband. Okay? Like, what is this turning into? And so I had to figure out a way to still be able to work with my herbs and just not make, it not comfortable for everybody else. And it was a lot, because when you start growing your herb garden, herbs grow like crazy. You start harvesting, they're going to kick it off. They're going to keep growing. And so we had peppermint hanging everywhere. Even Mary Jane leaves, it was everywhere. Spearmint hanging, trying to dry. And yeah. So I had to buy a dehydrator. I recommend the dehydrators that you can hang outside. They sell them on Amazon. Mm-hmm. They are just really mesh material that you can hang anywhere, and that'll naturally dehydrate. But also, I have an actual dehydrator, the machine. They're kind of expensive, but they're really worth it when you're growing herbs and working with your herbs. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna fold this down. The blackberries name is Rubus, Rubus. Villosus, Villous. And like I said, I'll post it. It's also known as dewberry, brambleberry, or goutberry. And it is in the rose family. It's a rosacea. Y'all know I mess up a word. Don't worry about it. I'll post it. Y'all can do your research and see if you want to be working with it. Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to get into a little moon information, and then I'm going to hit the presentation. Today, I just want to go into nutrient-dense food. One reason why is because when we gardening, sometimes we get overly excited, and we don't particularly pick foods according to the benefits of the body. And so I know my first couple of years, I was just planting random stuff. We're going to look at the biology and see the comparison between a human cell and a plant cell and how we relate more to the plant family than anything. And also, I'm going to do an extra class where we can watch The Secret Life of Plants. It is a good movie, but I just want you to see how they are able to hook up nodes to plants, and the plants communicate very clearly. And so we are talking about nutrient dense, but also the sentient part. Like when you have your plants around you, they tend to pick up the mood that you are in. And so that's why I just love them. Honestly, I'm in every room, out of control. I got 2 and 3 plants in every room. But it keeps me in it. It reminds me to stay in a more positive and uplifting energy, because like I said, you are affecting everything around you. And so it's just one of those things. We just had a full moon, and so it was my intention for us to do ritual. What the full moon is used for is getting rid of things. The full moon is to get rid of, and the new moon is to attract. And so on yesterday's full moon, I was out in the garden all day, and I was just intentionally gardening. While I'm out there gardening, I'm thinking of the things that I want to leave right there in the soil. And so it was still a full day. Sometimes ritual is not so much as you putting your hands on things. That helps because people are able to let go of things once they do some type of activity. versus when you don't do anything, you just constantly thinking about it. You want to do the ritual and let it go, forget about it. And so it's just us acting out in the spiritual world, in the physical. But yesterday was simple. It was just keeping my mind concentrated in every piece of dirt that I touched and being able to let go. And so yesterday was me letting go, not asking for help. Like at this point, we've added another greenhouse. We've also added a okra, another gardening area in the yard, because we do want to be working directly with the earth as well. And so I just needed the help. I was looking at that stuff and I did not want to go it alone. And so the full moon is the most powerful phase of the entire lunar cycle. Even people who don't believe in magic are able to recognize that something is energetically different at the full moon, as they experience strong emotions, erratic behavior in themselves or others, or strange sleep patterns. Those who do understand magic are in an excellent position to take advantage of these lunar energies and bring their desires into physical reality at this time. Many people that practice ritual find that the day of the full moon is the most magically potent day of the month and may say a spell word related to particularly important goals for this occasion. Divination can also be particularly successful at this time, as can efforts to improve psychic abilities. The full moon represents absolute abundance and the full promise of the growth cycle. This is the flowering stage in the world of plant life. The flourish of beauty confirming that fruit is on its way. So when you start seeing those flowers on your plants, you know the fruit and the harvest is coming. The mother aspect of the triple goddess is in her full power now, lending her nurturing and tending energies to our manifestations in progress. This phase also corresponds with the Lug Nasa, the first of the 3 harvest festivals on the wheel of the year, and the cross quarter day between summer and autumn. And so we all were in astrology, remember the cross of matter. Yeah, that's the name of the cross of matter. And so it's saying here that it's the quarter day between the summer and autumn. Now, agriculturally speaking, this is the harvest with the most promise, as we are just speaking, or we're just beginning to reap the benefits of what we planted at the beginning of the cycle. Yet we know that the bulk of the bounty is just to come. In keeping with this harvest theme, many practical magicians and other people that practice spirituality using the moon make a point of expressing gratitude in their full moon celebrations. You may wish to write a list of all that has benefited you over the past month and thank the universe or goddess or God, whatever you're into. You want to thank them for these blessings. Doing so before making any new magical requests is a great way to both honor the full moon theme of abundance and raise your vibrational frequency to an optimal state before sending out your new intention. So we know we have a little time before the new moon. And so we want to take out this time to be grateful for all of the things that are happening and unfolding since we last put our intentions out there for the last new moon. And so coming up, we will be doing a new moon practice. We're going to be working with some more herbs in relation to the new moon. But as far as the herbs that are in relation to the full moon, our gratefulness, we're going to get into that too. Now, as for the intentions you begin this lunar cycle with, use this phase to once again acknowledge the progress made this far, to clarify what it is you want to see happen next, and to realign yourself with the energies of accomplishing your goals. Often, the co-creative nature of manifestation means that you may experience a false start or two, which helps you to refine your vision of what is ultimately the best outcome. For example, maybe you landed an interview for a job only to discover that the company is not a good fit for you. You can use this experience to help you visualize to an even more specific degree the career circumstances that will suit you best. And this is something important too, because I'm a related to gardening, of course. Like I say, once I first started out, it's like, okay, I'm more focused on cycling out the garden. See what I can plant next here to keep the soil rich. So that was my focus. But then, and I don't call it downloads. I just be like zoned out anyway in the garden. So then my focus shifted to know what is nutrient dense, and then challenge yourself to eat only what you grow for a season of the growing season. And so just seeing in that way, you're staying in alignment with your body. Your body can use those specific nutrients. My last time practicing this was with the arugula. I was like, man, I don't really like arugula, but I'm gonna grow it. And so when I saw how much comes in, it was like a lot. And I'm like, dang, what I'm gonna do with all this? And so then I started researching, how do people eat arugula? How do they prepare it? What do they add to it? And I found this beautiful recipe with strawberries. I added peaches. I added pecans. You talking about a good old salad? It was delicious. And so it taught me that arugula pairs well with fruit. People don't usually eat it, in a regular salad. You pair it with fruit, and it was good. Even my seed was like, that's good. I added purple onions. It was delicious. And so that's what I mean by getting in tune with what you're planting. And also making sure you're staying connected with the moon energy. In the plant world, the moon rules. We do a lot of sun admiration, and we give the sun its props, but without the sun, there would be no moon. Every thing has its time to shine in nature. And so, Cameron, this one, you just saying they just spoke on a false start. So you started your garden, and now this gives you the opportunity to start some more seeds. And luckily you had more growing, you know what I'm saying? You didn't just put all your eggs in one basket, as my grandmama would say. And so you just want to be open. Even you, Brittany, you said that you decided not to plant your seeds until you came back from out of town, because you didn't. That's me. I don't want to be worrying about it, because it's gonna be in the back of my mind, like, dang, what happened in my seeds? Like, are they infested? Like, it's a lot. And so during growing season, I don't travel. People be asking, and I'm like, who's gonna take care of my plants? If I leave, nobody's gonna take care of them like I do. And so we just want to make sure we're in alignment with the moon energy, taking out a moment, just like we use the parchment paper to write down the things we are intending to happen. We want to use that same paper, or just general regular paper. I believe in the power of regular paper and the lead pencil. Lead is an element, and so is the paper or wood. So when we're talking about working with earthly elements, we're talking about those minerals, that lead on that wood that produces magic. And so even if you don't use the parchment paper, you have that other option. But just taking out a moment to be grateful before we see the harvest. We know the harvest is coming because we are putting in the time and the work. And so let's get right on into, and I'll be posting that too, the information on the full moon. But we're gonna look up what astrology cycle are we in? Another moon. What are we working with? Okay, so the full moon in Libra. So we're gonna be looking for my memory is bad, so I ain't gonna kick it like I know it by heart. We're gonna be looking for some herbs that are in relation to Venus. Yesterday we had the full moon in Libra, and so that's what we're gonna go over. And that is an air element, so we'll be looking for that as well. Scan through. Libra. Look at that. Well, that's an air element. Let me see. Yeah, this stuff be in such alignment. My son came in the house yesterday. He brought me in some dandelions. And he was like, Mom, you can make some tea with this or put it in your smoothie. And so dandelion is an air element. So we're gonna read on that and let's find something specifically for Libra. Libra and Venus both. And then after this, like I said, I'm gonna show the slide. I'll be thinking about so much during the week. I want to get it all out. It's a quick little slideshow. And then we're gonna go outside. I'm so excited, y'all. Okay, Libra. Okay, Libra. Yep, and the moon. Let's see. Mugwort. That's what came up. Okay. So the first herb is dandelion. And in what language do these people speak? Well, it's called Taraxacum officinale. And so the reputation of dandelion is interesting. It's considered a delightful flower by most children and annoying, unstoppable weed by most adults. And we know anything that's considered a weed is good for your health as well. So don't believe the hype. Now, it's showing here that dandelion is indeed associated with Pisces and Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. But it came up because it's an air element. It's an air herb. And so the deities that are in relation to dandelion is any solar deity. So the sun as well. And then Bridget, which is a Celtic goddess of healing and poetry. Hecate, which is a Greek goddess of witchcraft and necromancy. Now we're talking about drawing luck into your life. So for drawing good luck to your life, you will bury a dandelion on the northwest side of your house. And then for wishes, using dandelion in the bath, you use it in the bath, and or revive the childhood tradition of blowing on the seed head after speaking your wish. We used to do that when we were little.
Sure did. My daughter do it too when we go to the park.
So that's a whole magical practice. It just gave me chills. Okay, so it's showing that some spiritual people use the fresh blossoms and green leaves for altar decorations during spring and summer Sabbaths. They are also woven into the wreaths and garlands and even ropes that could be worn during these rituals. Likewise, late summer seed heads with their slightly silvery hue make nice for autumn altar adornments. And so I never even thought about putting them on an altar. Now, what is good for or its magical properties is focused on divination and interaction with the spirit world and granting wishes. And so we all do that. Now, in addition to cleansing the liver, the tea can increase psychic powers, and pouring water over a bowl of the roots is a way to call spirits. So if you all are into contacting the ancestors, you can pour the water over a bowl of the roots to call your ancestors in. Now, dried dandelion leaves and flowers can be used in dream pillows and sachets to protect against nightmares. And we already went over drawing a good look. Okay, so that was the dandelion. And then we're going to go ahead and get into the mugwort. The mugwort is a herb that is associated with Gemini, Taurus, and Libra. And the planets that it rules is the moon and Venus. It is an earth element. And also the deities is Artemis, Diana, which both are Greek or Roman, both the goddesses of the moon and the forest. And so if you're into calling, me personally, I only call on my ancestors, but if you're into working with other beings, then those would be related. I will post this in the Patreon as well. Now, it's saying that mugwort is a member of the daisy family. And though it's not quite as pretty to look at as some of his cousins, it is a favorite among spiritualists. Now, it is known to grow between 6 feet tall with a subtly purple stem and a small reddish or greenish flower. And let me pull it up so we can see what this would look like in the wild. Mugwort. I don't know why I always type in mugwort. Like, it's so odd. There it is. Yeah, I'm a visual learner, so I always want to make sure we get to see it visually. So if we're outside, we can. Okay. Yeah, I never would have guessed that. Let me share the screen. A tab. So this is what it looks like in the wild. And let me go back here. I want you all to see it in different stages. This would be it too when it's flowering. Okay. That's when it's flowering. And I guess this one would be the leaves that you were looking out for. And it's saying that this grows really tall, mugwort. So they have reddish or greenish flowers, yet its versatile plant was used to flavor beer before the cultivation of hops became standard. Some say that this is where the herb gets its name from the mug that beer would be drunk in from. However, like lavender, mugwort is also a great repeller of moths, and some believe the name comes from an older word for moth. Aside from that, it is a traditional herb in spiritualism. So it said that the Roman soldiers valued mugwort for its ability to combat fatigue. So they saying they used it to pick them up when they were really tired. Now, see, I'm looking for the magical practices. Okay. So for now, it's enough to stick external magical uses for this powerful herb. And these magical uses would include dream work, divination, safeguarding the home from unwanted energies, and protection during travel. You can add it to dream pillows to encourage prophetic dreaming. And while placing sprigs of the herb near divination tools such as tarot cards and runes, it can increase the power and accuracy. Wow, that's deep. Do I have some mugwort? I'm gonna look. Burning mugwort during divination sessions can enhance receptivity to the messages coming through. And hanging mugwort over a door protects the space inside the unwelcome. It protects the space inside from unwelcome spirits or other energies. And you can also carry it in a sachet while traveling to help prevent delays and mishaps. Wow. So, okay. I didn't know all that about mugwort. I purchased mugwort originally just to start to be able to astral travel. And so I heard it's a good dream herb, and that's what I purchased for. But now I'm going to put some in my pillow. I love the dream world. And it says if you want prophetic dreams, then you definitely can put some in your pillow. So yeah, I'm going to post this as well. Those are the herbs that we're using for the full moon. And just keep in mind, the full moon is not the proper time to be asking for stuff. Let's practice being grateful. And we're gonna get right into this spread, shall this presentation. Share. So what I want to inform you all, the purposes of this presentation is to show you that we are not different from plants. A lot of people have placed great emphasis on that. I hear a lot of people saying, yeah, we're gonna save the animals, but then I just always, when I read the Kabbalion, it just gave me a new respect for the worms. And I think that's the chapter in between when it talks about all the levels of life form and how even the lowly earthworm has to serve its purpose. And so then when I got into the secret life of plants, they were just showing how they connected these nodes, and the plants were horrified when the person would come in the kitchen who's cooking. They would remember that person's energy and be giving off this loud noise, and it sounded like a cry because they knew that person had just chopped up their friend. So it's deep, but we're gonna get into it. So the plant biology, what do we actually have in common with plants? And so we're gonna look here. Now, plants have 3 basic organs. For me, the roots remind me of how we start out like as a sperm in the beginning stages, just coming out of that seed, and then the foundation will be making sure your organs and stuff are being formed. So the root, this is what would anchor the plant in soil. It absorbs water, minerals. It's like that's what they eat from, and they're able to store food like our bodies store energy, or store energy from food, I'll say. Okay, so the stems is what connects the leaves, of course. I look at it, me being I'm a cosmetology instructor, I've always believed that our hair, it was still alive, but it's just like an outgrowth. And so that's how I see things. You might see it different, but when I think of the hair, I think that is how we receive our information. That's why when I was doing hair, I didn't promote a lot of cutting. A lot of people used to be like, yeah, I just want my ends trimmed. And I would trim them, but not until it was like necessary. You just had fried ends. I don't know where that practice picked up, but I just know with locks, the older, and I should have. Okay, so the U.S. did a study when they first were colonizing here, and the study proved that the warriors with the locks or long hair, they had more of an intuitive connection in war. And so this was a whole study. You all can look that up, but that's how I think of the hair, like the leaves. And also, I think that the hair assists us in receiving spiritual information. And here we see that the plant, it just helps to feed the plant. It is the reason behind photosynthesis. And so, again, we're talking about nutrient-dense food. And so we want to be growing things that are rich and leafy. I have a lot of kale sprouting. They are so cute. Kale is so little and cute at first. And so here, it's just showing you what the bud, and this is the actual flower bud. I never knew that artichokes, this is the bud. I would think that it would be the leaves. And then when you're looking at an artichoke plant, it's just beautiful. The leaves are more so looking like cactus. But this is just a chart showing you different sprouts and flowers of plants. I am planting corn this year as well. This will be like my second time planting corn. The first time it got so hot in Texas, the corn fried on the cob. It was dried out. And so this year we're going to be very watchful of the corn. Corn does not have a deep root system. So if you are container gardening, it will do well in a container garden because it doesn't need a lot of deepness as far as the roots is concerned. And so this is also Brussels sprouts. Y'all can see the celery. And these are just different plants and showing you what will grow underground. Here are the onions. They don't have to be that deep. I am planting purple onions this year. Potatoes, tomatoes, root sweet potatoes. And so I'm going to share a video as well showing you 9 or 10 of the most nutrient dense plants. You want to go in with intention. And so it's just showing you all the root plants. Me being a Sagittarius, root plants should be top of my list. I also practice eating for your blood type. and so root plants are there too heavy. But I like collard greens and stuff, and so I am growing kale, collard greens, cabbage. These are all very nutrient dense plants to be planting. Broccoli is very nutrient dense as well, and lettuce not so much, but I don't grow any lettuces. They never survive here. It gets really hot. Okay, so this is also a diagram of the plant parts. Karenissa just showed us live and living color her tomato plants, and this is what the flower looks like. This is a graph, but just on most plants, this is how the flowers and fruit would be. It's going to flower, and then you'll start seeing the fruit come from the flower. And with squash, it's just amazing to watch because you have big, beautiful flowers, and then you grow that big, beautiful squash. That and cucumbers, the flower is so little, but the harvest is just huge. So getting into the cell, I don't know if you all watched or not. I did a whole, maybe a 3-series video set on mitochondria. This is why I was getting that information and also getting so deep into it, because it came to me and I went into the rabbit hole. And so when I noticed was just the plant cell looks just like ours. And so this here is the mitochondria of the plant. And this is the liquid that sustains everything else that's in the cell on both humans and plants. And so it was just amazing to me. This is where the energy is stored. And if your body is taking in nutrients, your body changes that into energy. And so you want to make sure that your plants, when you're thinking about it, it serves the same purpose. You want to make sure they're being fed, have the proper lighting, have the proper watering. You just want to get in tune, because this is just like your body. And it is my belief that when you're attuned with gardening, your plants will feed you everything that your body needs. Even if that plant is not known for that, I just feel like it's intentional as well. You're connecting with the plant. And so here you see the nucleus and the other parts. I love the mitochondria because it's where the energy is. But we see here, this is the chloroplast. Like this interacts with the leaves. And also this is showing you somewhat of the structure. We know that it doesn't look like this in science, but they have to draw something to give you a visual. And so we're also looking at the vein of a plant. It amazes me. Oh, okay, so here is a comparison of what we are considered to be, which is animals. And here's the plant. And so just seeing the similarities, look at it. Everything is the same. And so they need oxygen just like you. You don't want your plants in your garden to be struggling for air. That's why you want to make sure you're keeping the ground clear. That is where most disease starts, at the dirt. And I'm gonna show y'all when we get outside. I'm so proud of myself. This year I got straw. It is beautiful put down, and it does protect the dirt. Now we're gonna see how well. I'm gonna go out the other day and see if the chickens have dug up the plants that I put straw in. I just want to see if it deters them, and if so, the straw will be everywhere. Straw breaks down beautifully in soil. You want to make sure you're mulching with things that break down nicely, and you mulch to keep the soil dry. This year I am using soaker hoses. I want to see the difference in last year. Last year I was overhead watering everything all the time, and I just feel like with the soaker hose, it's going to save water because it's going straight to the roots. And also I'm still going to use the air filter, making sure that those bottles that I have in the ground are able to supply some oxygen-rich water to the plant's roots. But look at the cells, y'all. This is amazing. You are the plants, right? Look at it. I was looking at this for hours. I'm like, dang. So you see here, the whole makeup, the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And then here, it has a rough and a smooth, just like you. So keep this in mind. Don't treat your plant like it's not alive. Now, this is just a chart showing what we both have in common with our plants. This could be all types of shape. They have cell walls, they have all this, but this is what you have in common with your plants. So these are sentient beings. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and share the video I pulled up for y'all. This is the top 10 healthiest vegetables you can grow. And don't forget about your fruits and your nuts, you all. We want to get into growing trees also. I'm gonna show y'all the condition of my avocado trees. I took them outside after being inside for 2 years. They look like they're struggling. And so I'm gonna move them. We're gonna go on an adventure. And let's just play this. Share this tab instead. Okay.
You are what you eat, and if you eat these vegetables, you are healthy. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 vegetables. Number 10, eggplant. Vegetarians know eggplant's high fiber content makes it a hearty veggie. With its practically non-existent fat and calorie counts, it's a great weight loss tool, as long as you don't smother it in Parmesan cheese. Eggplants also have heart-healthy components, potassium, which can help reduce strokes and dementia, and antioxidants that prevent damage to brain cells. So put this purple plant in your plan pronto. Number 9, beets. The nutrient that makes beets red helps fight cancer and lower the risk of heart disease, while beets folate helps pregnant ladies metabolize amino acids. Low fat, low cal, high fiber, and high carb, beets keep your body fueled, blood sugar levels normal, and digestive system healthy. Potassium, magnesium, and manganese keep everything running properly as well. But believe it or not, beet greens contain more nutrients than the root. Number 8, asparagus. Love it or hate it, asparagus ranks high as a free radical fighting powerhouse. A low-cal source of potassium, protein, fiber, and folate. Asparagus is known for its cleansing properties, which means it makes you go number 1 and number 2. With vitamins A, B6, C, and K, cardiovascular health and immunity receive a boost. And iron keeps the oxygen flowing. Plus, some researchers claim it helps hangovers. Number 7, alfalfa sprouts. Raw dieters know sprouts are full of plant-based proteins, and unlike the also important beans and peas, they don't need to be cooked to be enjoyed. They're bursting with antioxidants and can help with anything from heart disease and cancer to osteoporosis and menopause. Their fiber helps you feel fuller longer, plus they boast nutrients like calcium, potassium, zinc, and manganese, and a bunch of vitamins between A and K. Number 6, carrots. We've heard the old wives' tale, carrots are good for sight. Is it true? Beta-carotene makes carrots orange, and humans metabolize it into vitamin A, which in turn keeps eyes, skin, and hair healthy. Carrots' vitamin C keeps cardiovascular systems running smoothly and promotes iron absorption, while vitamin K ensures your blood clots. Various other nutrients and minerals are Mother Nature's way of preventing problems from cataracts to cancers. Number 5, dark green vegetables. Whether it's leafy greens like spinach, Swiss chard, or kale, or cruciferous veggies like broccoli, cabbage, or Brussels sprouts, they're lean green disease-fighting machines. Their folate is great during pregnancy, while antioxidants and phytonutrients help against colds and cancers. The iron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, and vitamins in dark greens promote overall health, but broccoli is especially talented at preventing stomach, lung, and rectal cancers and type 2 diabetes. Number 4, tomatoes. Low-cal but nutrient-dense, a tomato's most impressive feature is lycopene, which protects against breast, colon, lung, skin, and prostate cancers, reduces cholesterol, and regulates blood pressure. Beside fiber and heart-healthy nutrients, vitamins like A, which helps skin and eyes, C, which fights infection and maintains connective tissue, and K, which prevents osteoporosis, make tomatoes indispensable. Technically they're a fruit, but call us when you have one for dessert. Number 3, bell peppers. These yummy veggies are also called capsicum or sweet peppers. Red ones are healthiest, with more lycopene, carotene, and vitamins A, B, C, and K. Those prevent cancers and keep teeth, gums, and eyesight in tip-top shape. Inflammation from arthritis and asthma and age-related diseases don't stand a chance against their antioxidants, and fiber, potassium, and manganese are a few more of this superfood's benefits. Number 2. Sweet potatoes. Smokers and diabetics can benefit from eating this vegetable. Vitamin A protects against emphysema, while a low glycemic index rating keeps insulin levels normal. Sweet potatoes also crush other veggies in nutrient density, with more fiber, protein, and complex carb content, plus anti-cancer vitamins A and C, iron, and calcium. Beta-carotene targets free radicals, vitamins and antioxidants fight inflammation and heart disease, and potassium lowers blood pressure. Superfood for sure. Number 1. Allium foods. Adding flavorful and healthful properties to meals, the allium family includes leeks, chives, garlic, and onions. Famous in herbal medicine, both onions and garlic boast antibiotic advantages, increase immunity, and fight inflammation, while garlic is used to treat coughs and colds. Alliums also balance cholesterol levels, help prevent hardened arteries, lower BP, and fight certain cancers and neurological diseases like Alzheimer's. And that ain't even everything. Adding any extra fruits and veggies to your diet is a smart move, but like anything, do it in moderation. What are your favorite tips to staying healthy? For more health advice, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
So I didn't like the way they did peas. I'm petty. I'll do peas like that now. So I just want to find this other video that I was watching, and what they were talking about was just the high quality content of peas. And I knew that, because when you eat a pea, a black eye pea, purple pea, sweet peas, you can tell that there's something nutritious on the inside. I love beans too, but the older I get, beans kind of give me indigestion. And so that when I first met my husband, I was like, yeah, I'm making my red beans rice, because his family from Louisiana. And so I cook it all the time. And then one day he was like, yeah, it's like giving me indigestion.
Let that shit out. Let it out.
He had to bust my bubble. And I'm like, but you Louisiana. But then when we started eating more peas, we can just tell the difference. No indigestion there. They're delicious. You put some black pepper and salt, they're just delicious, you know. And so that's the difference. I think maybe the bean is more acidic, because indigestion is in connection with something being awfully acidic. And I soak my beans. I don't know what's going on, but that pea is more alkaline. It just works well with us. So I'm trying to shift. I am planting this. I got these from the Botanical Gardens, and this is it's a rarity to find, the purple hull pea. They call it the pea snap, the sugar magnolia. And so I love planting purple things as well. I just feel like anything that adds a lot of color to the garden is jam-packed with nutrients. So we're gonna watch this. Then I'm gonna of course skate off to the restroom. Everybody need some restroom, get you some water. I'm taking my basil outside while we're together. We're gonna take that basil on outside. It's struggling in the house. Herbs don't really like to be in a sprouting phase for a long time. And so you want to make sure you get your herbs out into a natural environment. You can grow herbs in the windowsill for forever. That doesn't mean that they like it, you know. Peppermint is an easy windowsill herb. Onions, like Carolina said, every time I get some onions like that, I put them in some water and regrow them 2 to 3 times. But this year I planted chives, and I want to go ahead and get those outside. So you can talk, Carolina.
I'm sorry. I'm just over here moving stuff. My bad.
Oh. I'm like, you ain't got to raise your hand, girl. Okay. And so our herbs and stuff, they thrive well in natural environment. This year I am planting more herbs. I'm just hoping. I had to do research. Peppermint, that has to be planted in the container. If not, it will spread. That spearmint, anything that vines, put it in the container and make sure you still take care of it as if it was growing with other herbs. So, like I said, we're gonna watch this video and we're gonna transition outside. Oh, let me unmute it.
If you're trying to get Hey there, fitness freaks! Let's talk about everybody's favorite subject, vegetables. Since you are a young whippersnapper, someone's been yammering in your ear about how good they are for you. While they may not deserve the Nobel Prize for being the smartest person on Earth, they definitely were right about it. If you're trying to get in shape, there are plenty of great veggies you can munch on. The hardest part is trying to get through the aftertaste. Let's discuss the 9 most nutrient-dense veggies to get you in shape. Are you an asparagus person? How about Brussels sprouts? Oh no, spinach? Yeah, we're talking about all that and more. Number 1, spinach. Let's kick things off with your grandfather's favorite punishment. I get it, it tastes awful and it makes you want to vomit. What else is new? Just hear me out. Spinach is jam-packed with some of the best nutrients around. Talking about manganese, copper, folate, calcium, all the vitamins you could ask for. Just 1 cup of raw spinach provides almost 60% of your daily recommended vitamin A. This improves your vision and strengthens your immune system. It also maintains the health of your lungs, kidneys, and heart, among other organs. Research from 2015 shows that a regular spinach diet reduces your risk of heart disease by lowering blood pressure. As for vitamin K, the same cup of spinach contains over 100% of your recommended intake. This vitamin strengthens your bones and reduces blood clotting. Spinach also provides its fair share of antioxidants, which work to fight against free radicals. Studies show that the more spinach you eat, the less chances you are of developing cancer. This makes spinach one of the healthiest veggies around, so toughen up and make yourself a plate. Number 2, red cabbage. Everybody loves cabbage. Just kidding. But if you like to boost your nutrients, this is the veggie to eat. Red cabbage contains healthy amounts of potassium, calcium, iron, and vitamin B6. It's also got massive amounts of vitamin A, but where it really shines is with its vitamin C content. Among its many functions, this vitamin lowers your blood pressure, prevents gout, and strengthens your immune system. In terms of vitamin C content, a single cup of shredded red cabbage holds almost 70% of your daily requirement. A study from 2012 focused on rats which were given extract from red cabbage. In the end, it showed to reduce inflammation, prevent liver damage, and lower cholesterol. Red cabbage and spinach, anyone? Number 3, carrots. Along with vitamin C, carrots have a large amount of B6, calcium, iron, and magnesium. But when it comes to vitamin A, carrots go absolutely nuclear. You ready? A cup of chopped carrots has around 430% of your daily vitamin A requirement. Just reading that is enough to make my head explode. They also have a ton of beta-carotene. This is an antioxidant that's responsible for the orange color. Not just that though. Studies have shown that eating servings of carrots every day can reduce your risk of prostate cancer by 5%. The same kind of research has indicated that carrots can lessen the risk of lung cancer. Smokers who skip out on carrots are shown to be 3 times more likely to get the disease. While they may lack in taste and certainly are not fun to eat, carrots are a great choice if you're trying to get in shape. Not only are they easy to buy, you can also eat them on the go. Number 4, asparagus. Most people hear the word asparagus and are instantly transported back to a really lackluster dinner party. I don't think you're giving this veggie the credit it deserves. I mean, sure, it smells funky and tastes even weirder, but asparagus is super healthy. Asparagus is rich in both vitamins and minerals. Let's talk about folate for a second. I'm holding your interest with a death grip, aren't I? Folate is a vitamin asparagus has plenty of. It's needed to grow red and white blood cells. This strengthens tissues and other important materials in your body. It's especially crucial for women during pregnancy. Just half a cup of asparagus holds 30% of your daily folate requirements. It also has 57% of your vitamin K. On top of that, we're talking a lot of copper, manganese, iron, and potassium. It's like a periodic chart exploding in your mouth. Okay, bad joke. Zing! All right, I'll stop. Moving on. Number 5, broccoli. Come on, you knew this was coming. We can't talk about healthy veggies without mentioning broccoli at least one time. With broccoli, you either love it or you hate it. Either way, it has a ton of benefits. These include possible cancer prevention and lower cholesterol. It can even help your eyes. If you're lacking vitamin A, your chances of blindness will increase. When you eat broccoli, the beta-carotene in the veggies converts into vitamin A, boosting your eyesight. Broccoli also contains an assortment of nutrients including potassium and folate. If you eat broccoli on the regular, you're looking at an impressive amount of protein. Just a cup of chopped broccoli has under 3 grams. Adults are recommended between 46 to 56 grams a day. If you're starting a new workout regimen, broccoli is definitely one of the foods you want in your diet. Before we continue, are you trying to get in shape? You need to switch up your diet then. Check out our latest video discussing 26 cooking hacks that'll make your life easier. Now back to our list of the 9 most nutrient-dense veggies. Number 6, garlic. I know, a little garlic can go a long way. Unless you're allergic or a vampire, you need to add this nutritious ingredient to more of your recipes. When I say nutritious, I mean it. Sure, garlic has a lot of the usual stuff. It's packed with some good vitamins and a few minerals, but where it really excels is in the allicin. This is a plant compound responsible for some amazing things. Research has shown that because of the allicin, eating garlic can regulate your blood sugar. This leads to a decrease in the risk of diabetes. It can also boost your heart health, reducing the risk of strokes and heart attacks. One particular study from 2005 focused on rats who were given garlic compounds. Those who ate them displayed a decrease in blood sugar and insulin sensitivity. There's also a reason to suggest that allicin in garlic can make a difference in the fight against cancer. Test tube studies have shown that the compound can kill cancer cells in the liver. Number 7, kale. This isn't exactly the type of food you take your date for. I mean, you never hear things like, "Hey, you want to hang out on Saturday? I don't have Netflix, but I know the best kale place in town." Another one of the healthiest veggies, kale is a food all your annoying gym buddies rave about. To start, kale also has a healthy amount of protein. By eating just one small serving, you're getting about 3 grams. You're also looking at around 3 grams of fiber. This will make you feel full for a longer period of time. It also helps your digestive process, adding to your weight loss. Kale is also great if you need antioxidants. This can maintain the health of your heart. A study from 2008 showed that men who drank kale juice over the span of 3 months saw a nearly 30% increase in good cholesterol and a 10% drop in the bad kind. Number 8, green peas. Oh, you know you can't resist this one. Green peas may taste a little weird, but man oh man, they are nutritious. Just a single cup contains all the nutrients you need for a healthy meal. Not just 10 grams of fiber and protein, it also contains vitamin A, C, K, folate, copper, magnesium, and iron. Don't dare me to bring back the cringy periodic table jokes, because I will. The fiber found in green peas will feed the healthy bacteria in your gut. This speeds up the digestive system, allowing you to process food easier. A good digestive system is crucial for losing weight. Green peas also have saponins, another plant compound shown to fight against cancer development. This is done by killing cancer cells and stopping the growth of tumors. Number 9, Brussels sprouts. I know, not your ideal dessert item. Brussels sprouts hold a bit of everything. If you're experiencing a health kick, you're going to be running to the grocery store after hearing this. Half a cup of Brussels sprouts will give you your day's worth of vitamin K and C. Not to mention a good amount of vitamin A, as well as folate, manganese, fiber, and protein. This is found within just 30 calories. Brussels sprouts are another vegetable known for its antioxidant power, specifically kaempferol, a plant particle that relieves your body of cell damage. Do you eat any of these veggies? Would you consider eating any of them after watching this video? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you.
All right, so yeah, this is what I be doing, y'all. This is my pastime. I would say on the kale, I'm gonna put a question in the Patreon. Y'all tell me when kale came on the scene. And so for greens and stuff like that, I like to also get into when it came on the scene. We know that heirloom plants are naturally from here. And so we do have to go into correcting the soil by means of planting mostly heirloom plants. And so I am growing kale, but I'm trying to grow collard greens as well. That's an heirloom plant. Kale and I would say mustards, turnip greens. Turnips have been around for generations. That is right up there with the collard. And so we're talking about my grandmama used to send me to the side of the road. Yeah, she'd be like, go up there and get me some of that. What was the name of that stuff? It wasn't mustard. Yeah, she'd be like, go up there and get it. And so I just remember we lived in the projects, but it was when the projects was open fields. It was before the overcrowdedness came about and them realized, oh, well, we can give them smaller space. And so we had a big, gigantic field in the back of the house. And she used to use the elements. She would send us to the pine tree and we get the sap and she would make hair grease. And so just little memories like that. I'm going to ask Ray when I get up to the front the name of the plant because I was looking for it. I look for stuff that comes out of my childhood. But just we want to get into heirloom growing because it's going to set the soil back right. All of the new stuff is good and well, but until you revisit history, the present will keep presenting itself. And we're saying that we don't like what we see. It's because we have to go back into our tradition. People speak very lightly of tradition. Tradition is everything. That's why it's been around for generations and generations. And so when you get away from that, you have become just like a parasite, just like everybody else. You're not actually giving back. We spoke on it the first class. When we had outhouses, the land was healthy. We had so many trees that you can just pull fruit from, and now everything is being depleted. And so that is, let me show y'all the system, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go outside. So this is just a regular photo box, and this is what I keep my seeds. This is what I went live about this week, just showing you all. Trying to put the inside out. You want to keep your seeds in like closed air environment and get you some type of system going. I put all my lettuce with my lettuce. You don't have to break the bank on seeds. Buy heirloom seeds. These sometimes are $4, other stores they're $2, $3 a pack. Get them from different places, and just if this an heirloom, it'll say it on the pack. I buy both because I want to see if I can grow everything. But you do want to be kind of organized. And these are good because you can see through them. They're enclosed, tight air space, and then it's like double protected. They also have photo box, like it looks like a cooler to me. But another system that would go outside of here, it was $30 by itself. I didn't get it. So this is what I did get. But make sure.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is there anything that we need to be mindful of when getting heirloom seeds, like the integrity of the seed? And now everything's organic, but it's not really organic.
Right. An heirloom has stood the test of time. When you get it, if you don't want a system like this, you can just get you a jar with the actual top on it. Airtight that seed. Lisa was sharing with us last week how the man, well, maybe she shared with me, but what she was saying was the man, when she got out of gardening supplies, he still had seeds in jars. Just get you a system going. You have to protect the integrity. And so I can't believe they sprouted. This going out. Girl, so I gotta show y'all my bean stand. We got the bean stand up. I've had this bean pole system for like 2 years, never used it. And so it is up, and I'm just excited to see, because with beans, they like to climb. And I always try to get a trellis, but they climb past the trellis. They get really tall. And so I'm excited. Let's go outside. If you need to use the restroom, do that. And I'm going to transition myself. If you need to screen share, I logged in today to where I can approve it on the phone. Because last week, a couple of people said they wanted to share and weren't able to because the computer was logged in. So y'all see y'all in a couple of minutes. We're going to go on out here. And y'all go outside and show me y'all stuff if you got stuff outside. And just let's talk systems. We want to look at the soil. I bought a lot of manure, and girl, it just stinks. We got all that out there. What I'm gonna do with the okra, I'm gonna show y'all the space. I tested out no dig garden bed, and so how you do that is cardboard, whatever feeder you're gonna put on there, and then you put the soil directly on top. And so it's my intention to go into the cardboard, move the dirt off the spot. I'm gonna draw an X. I'm gonna dig down in the earth, and that way that soil and then the manure is still getting down in the earth. I want to test this out as far as repairing the land. Everything is in boxes and raised bed. That's fine, but okra grows well in dry conditions, and so we're gonna test it out. So let's go outside, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm out here. We're outside. Look at the chickens. They just swear I got something for them and I don't. Let me see. Let me unpin this. Hold on. Can y'all see me?
No, no, we see the chickens.
Oh, okay. There we go. So it is beautiful out. I just want to go over here and then we're gonna circle back. Are any of you girl? I'm so sorry. Come back. I'm sorry. She like, never mind. She'll come and sit at my feet. And then when I take off walking, I always get them. It's like, girl, let me know.
Right.
All right, y'all. I brought my little concoctions and stuff with me. Contraptions, I say, not concoctions. And look at Coco. Say hey, Coco. Say hey. Had that snake
Hi,
been trying to get y'all
Coco.
today?
Hi, Coco.
Okay, I'm moving on.
You digress, huh?
All right, so today or yesterday, we got this done.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go to the store after class and get some mulch. I just always have to have me a good path because I am tall and I'm thick with it. So I need room to move around. A lot of people say don't walk through your beds. Make your beds work for you. I know I'm not gonna be able to sit on this edge and garden comfortably, so I bought knee pads this year too. And gardening is really, really getting down in the dirt. And so we got all this done. We wanted to put some protection so if the soil starts shifting or anything, I had to dig up this whole bed and make a path. I had a makeshift path here last year. And look, the chickens did not mess with the straw, y'all. So, oh yes, they did. One of them. Well, they did. And so I'm using straw this year to keep the containers. Once this goes up in the greenhouse, I just want to make sure that the soil is being preserved. Last year, I had an encounter with the moldy mildew disease on the squash, and that started to affect my tomatoes as well. And I didn't like that because like I put my little crops in danger. I just kept clipping the tomatoes and eventually I took the squash out. But whatever you gardening in, if you're doing the containers, just make sure the mulch. I'm gonna mulch on ground too. But the containers they dry out. The containers don't hold as much moisture, so I want to make sure. And so, like I told you, I'm doing the cardboard. And this is lazy gardening. If you want your area clean and free of weeds, you just starve the weeds out. I'm hoping to go to Walmart today when I get the mulching. Hopefully, they got some more boxes to give me. And I was so grateful to get all these boxes. And so, some of them come from Hello Fresh, of course, but yeah, I have to add more dirt to these. I didn't get enough dirt, but we did get the compost in all the containers. We use the compost for the containers, the manure for the on ground, and then we're gonna go back in with some worm compost when it's time to refeed the plants. But when you're talking about nutrient dense, you want to make sure that you have the proper environment for whatever you planting to grow and be jam-packed with things that are going to connect with your cells. We have the same cell structure. There has to be some type of connection. And so this was unplanned, but it happened. Yesterday, me and my husband was in a deep conversation. And so I was like, well, where are we going to grow the okra? And so we came out here. He dug this whole area up. I was thinking something small. but it's cool. I might test out companion gardening here. Okra grows well with cucumbers. When you put them together, they ward off all kinds of pests and disease. And so this is why I was telling y'all I'm going to push the dirt to the side and take a razor, and for my planting pattern, so my first time doing a pattern as well, I'm going to put X's in the cardboard and dig down in the earth. And then this is just going to serve as feeding and topsoil. Now, if you do the no dig, which is what this is called, in a no dig, you're going to dig up the ground. It's going to look like this. And then you're going to add the cardboard box. You can see that. And then you're going to add soil and whatever you use as a feeder. That's no dig. And what we're going to do is fill this box up with some more dirt. And also over here, and I got to, figure out if I want to plant flowers over here. That'll draw in some pollinators. I probably will, because I bought a lot of flowers this year. Beautify your gardening space. Don't be afraid to get you some little lights and stuff. And if you're in a small space, you can get those hanging lights. Make it magical. Attract your fairies to your garden. And so I'm gonna practice and test this out. I'll tell y'all how the okra grow. I did get the okra this year that has the heirloom okra in it. And the heirloom grows red, purple, green, and I think yellow. Anything with those deeper, richer colors. Remember, everything that is just plain white is not going to be nutrient dense. So you want to go towards the colors. This year we're also growing heirloom corn. So that's the corn that is all them different colors. They say on the pack ornamental use, but those are the original corn stalks. So they try to deter you from the original to grow all this new stuff. And a lot of people don't like okra, but if you know somebody with diabetes, okra is good. You can make them some okra water, and it's really good for diabetes. I just like it. My grandmama ate it. It's another one of those seeds or plants that have been around for a while. They were used by the different cultures occupying this land. And so we're going to get back to gardening those things. Look at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to go in the front door, get the herbs. My flowers are growing. I don't know if y'all saw them. I'm talking about something else. Right here, we did plant some coneflower, which is also known as echinacea. I wanted to deal with the healing flowers specifically in this bed. We got calendula growing. When we came out here for the new moon, me, my seed, and my husband, we planted our intentions when we planted these flower seeds. It's a different variety of sunflower seeds. The sunflower is indigenous to this land. And the seed is really good. They tell you that your skin needs the vitamin E. You can get that naturally from sunflower seed oil. It's a natural preservative. And so I just wanted to plant here with purpose. And I got me some little flowers. Now my flowers on the outside, but somebody moved them. I digress. They're there, they glow at night, and it makes the space look beautiful. I don't be outside at night, but I will. And so what I grabbed from the store when I went to get my flowers, this was called the butterfly garden. I love butterflies. And so it was all types of plants with which will attract the butterflies. And then I also went ahead with the sunflower and the cauliflower. I've been trying to grow echinacea for 2 years. And it's not easy. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Last year I feel like I planted too late. But it didn't come up. And if it did, maybe I missed it. I don't know. Last year we didn't put down the landscape fabric. The landscape fabric on top of the cardboard is your friend because it's gonna further ensure that you don't get overran with weeds. And so this year we dug that area up again and we did put the landscape fabric down. So hopefully y'all will of course be here to see how that works out. I do want to encourage you all to use sun charged water when you're talking about water sprouting. If you don't, that's fine. But I keep this gallon of water out here just so it can be charged. And this is the distilled water that I've been using for my seeding. So before we got to our new moon practice, I had this sitting out in the sun for maybe 2 weeks. And so when I started sprouting my plants, this is what I'm sprouting them in. Okay, so I got my shovel, I got my little bag. We're going up here to put our herbs in the ground. I feel like they suffering at this point. I woke up this morning and my basil was linked over to the side. I was like, oh no. And I put some water in yesterday. I did not. I'm gonna put my phone on the tripod and go in and get them and bring them out. You were asking Brittany about pests, and I was telling you I do use chicken wire for everything. If you all are concerned, pests don't usually like getting up on chicken wire. And so I use it right here. We had sunflowers here. I have one sprouting. It came back. And then this is a mango tree that I sprouted from seed. Mangoes love the heat. It's going to do well. But these dang on elephant ears, they ain't sprouted yet. And I should have went with my first mind, which is to, my first mind said, Nina, keep them in the water until they sprout. So now I'm worrying about the elephant ears, whether they're going to come out or not. And I do mean worry, y'all. No, you're not supposed to worry, but I'm just like, when are they going to sprout? Like, how long does it take? Or give me a sign if you're not going to sprout, because I have more in the house. But when I go to people's yard and see those plants, they are so beautiful. I'm like, who are these people? Okay. All right, y'all. Keep in mind when you are using the chicken wire, it is kind of a lot of work, because every time you work in your herb section, you're either going to be leaning over like me, and it's just not convenient. So right here, this is where I seeded some bay, and I seeded it in the soil directly, because I see it wasn't coming up. And so I don't know if this is not getting enough moisture. This is new soil. I'm thinking maybe I should feed it a little more, because all of the new soil is in the bottom. But I think I just shook up the environment so much so that I'm going to have to do something. I disturbed the whole life of the herb box. Now, something is growing here, but I didn't plant anything over here. So this is the same. I'm going to let that grow to see what it turns into. This is the oregano box. I don't see anything here. Even taking out the rosemary, I took it out and left it out a couple of days in a big mound of dirt, I'll say. And it just hasn't come back. So I did grow some backup rosemary. These plants come back every year. Look on your herb patch to see if the herb that you're growing is a perennial. Perennials come back every year. And this is the lavender. It looks so sad. I left the lavender in the windowsill for maybe a whole week. And it was already a new sprout, and it's supposed to come back every year. If I can't sprout the lavender from seed, which I have not thus far, that was my first one, and then I killed it. But if I can't sprout it from seed, I'm going to go to the store and buy me a lavender plant and just take care of it. These are the avocado trees, y'all. It's so sad. They came out here, and I had them sitting in the sun, and avocados don't like sun, okay? And so they were all green and bushy at first, and then I had to cut off a lot of the leaves because I didn't know they didn't like sun. I think I damaged the top of this one. But with avocados, if the top of it get hurt, it'll start sprouting out of the body. So I see a new little sprout down here. Hold on. It's too close. I don't know if y'all can see it. But it has a new sprout, so I'm just hoping it survives. These were so pretty. But yeah, I say that all to say, don't give up. And if y'all want to share some of y'all outside with us, the floor is open.
Hey, Nina, I got a question for you. I attempted.
If not, I'll just go on about these avocados. What I plan on doing, I've been doing a lot of research. I've been researching avocados for like 6 months. And so what I found out is that they do not like soggy soil. And so most people, to be successful with the avocado, you have to build a mound in your yard, unless you have like a where you can plant it on a hill. And so I've decided recently that I might have to start building a mound. I was going to plant it near the house. I don't want it to interrupt the foundation of the house, because trees will knock your house out the way. And so it's just not recommended to bury it too close. And then we have a lot of trees. I just don't know where I would bury that. It will definitely maybe be about a corner, but everything's kind of level. I don't know. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and build a mound for both of them. And I think that when you plant avocados, it needs to be 2 different types. So these are 2 different types. And so what they do is pollinate each other. When you planting trees in general, just think of the male and female. You wouldn't want to be lonely. I have one tree in my yard that's lonely. It's beautiful, but it doesn't bear any fruit. And I'm going to show it to y'all after I go in the house and get my herbs. Y'all can enjoy this nature. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. So this is what I use for sprouting. And so what it is a tray. This way I can just sit the pots. I love terracotta because with terracotta it doesn't get oversaturated. And so these are the chives, and this is my basil. Yeah. And so they split back up once I gave them some. It was so sad.
You know, hey Nina,
I'm
I
gonna go ahead
planted
and give
mine
them around
outside
quite quick.
today. Can you not hear me?
Say that again.
I said, this Lisa, I planted mine outside, and mine was small, just like
And y'all know what?
you.
I had said I was gonna grow the onion in the
Wait,
same box.
Nina,
As the,
Nina, Nina, can you hear
The
us?
sweet
I don't think
herbs.
Nina can
Yeah,
hear us.
Oh,
she probably
yeah,
can't because
that's
it's
I
on her
guess I'm
phone.
not gonna hurt them.
okay.
Should I put it? Maybe I should put it instead of near the
Oh, raise
base.
your
The
hand.
base
Hello.
very sweet chamomile. To me smells like apples. And so maybe if I keep the
I don't think
chives
she
near
can
the
hear us, y'all.
oregano
She's
I
not
don't
even
think
looking at the
and the
camera.
I don't think she
rosemary,
can see
it'll
or
be
hear
better.
us.
I'm just thinking, and look at her. See, keeping it in the house. Y'all see that mold? Don't keep your plants in the house too long. You just boom. It has
Yeah,
mold
mine
all
was
around
left
top.
For her too.
So we can get it out of here today.
Uh,
But I'm just thinking, will the onions change the taste? Yeah, I think I'm gonna put this in a pot instead of putting
Hey,
it in
Nina.
here. You get my shovel. Lisa, did you wanna did anybody want to share?
Yeah,
yeah, can you hear
we've
us?
been trying to talk.
I can hear y'all now.
Uh,
I'm
You
like,
was
why
loud.
nobody
And
saying
Nina,
that?
he was like, Nina.
wait a minute. So I know we was trying to get your attention, but you wasn't looking. You was on the road.
Oh, why ain't nobody
What I wanted to look, what I wanted to say was, I just planted my basil outside today because mine looked just like yours,
saying?
and I'm just going to hope and pray that it do something. Cause this is my bed right here, along with the tomatoes and the peppers. Everything else,
Oh,
it didn't look
can't
right.
see. We can't
Your
see.
camera.
Oh,
Can we see?
Let me see.
oh, wait a minute,
Okay.
it didn't flip. See,
Oh,
so one corner is the peppers, the other tomatoes looking crazy, and then the basil is right here. But I had it in the house
that's the
too long.
basil.
Yeah, I had it in the house too long, so I said, "See what happened."
Did you watered it real good?
Yeah, after I planted it. But what I did is I
Mm-hmm.
watered around the soil because I didn't put the bottles in yet or the irrigation system. So
Mm-hmm.
I just watered because they don't like on top, right? It's the soil, so they can take it from the bottom, right?
Right.
Okay. I was messing with
Yeah.
this on chicken wire.
You said what?
I said I was messing with the chicken wire, trying to get that organized, but I kind of got frustrated.
Let me see.
See, so the chicken wire is
Oh,
right
so
there against the flatbed, but I'm gonna move it back because I have another gate right behind it. Because if I
mm-hmm.
don't, everything back up in there is gonna, you know, and that's what happened to my pumpkins.
What it kept growing. It kept going.
No, the animals, they were growing
Oh.
so good, and then the animals just came, and one day everything was good. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Dang.
So, and right back there, I'm gonna clean that out, and that's where I'm gonna put the actual house soon as it come.
The
But
greenhouse. That's a lot of
yeah,
space too, Lisa. I should have looked at it when I was there. Yeah, that's
yeah,
huge. That's big enough. With the greenhouse, just make sure I got an extension cord that I bring
uh-huh,
from the porch out. Just make sure you got good circulation. Cause it will smother your plants out.
yeah. So this why I be hanging
Girl.
out,
But Georgia don't get as hot.
huh?
Okay. It look peaceful. I said
Yeah.
Georgia don't get as hot as Texas, so it might be okay.
Well, then I planted my banana trees. There's one.
Oh,
Nice.
There's another one. And this was planted last year and it didn't do anything, but now it's coming back.
what is it?
It's a banana tree. I
Wow.
did it
Oh
last year. It
wow.
was much bigger. So
It's
Wow.
I don't know. And then I'm
cute.
planting carrots in here
Well, I
in
can't
that
see.
container.
Okay.
They're not in there yet, but that's where I'm gonna plant the carrots.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
I guess.
use a for my carrots. I think I'm gonna use a gardening bag that you can open up the bottom, so I
Mm-hmm.
won't have to necessarily be just plucking them out I don't know if that's gonna work or not though.
Yeah,
I've never been
checking them
able to grow
bags out.
carrots.
Them
You
grow
said you been
bags,
what?
right?
Yeah, grow
Them grow
bags.
bags.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been checking them out. I said I was gonna get me
Yeah.
a couple to see. And here's my elephant ears. Now, it's blue, different color.
Oh.
Color. So
Oh.
I painted these like
Your camera went
down,
off.
but
Okay. You said they different
you see
colors.
it? They all
Mm-hmm.
different colors: blue, pink,
Oh, that's pretty.
all different color elephant ears. So,
Yeah. Beautify your space. Okay.
I
Come
have a.
through, Corey.
yeah.
Should I be transferring this outside?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me
Oh,
pin you.
It's like a lot.
What is it?
what is
It's
that?
basil. Basil.
Oh wow, that looks good.
But they didn't
Yeah.
like the leaves are not like big yet.
No, they not big, but they gonna get big. I would put them in a little bigger pot since it's so
Okay.
many,
Mm-hmm.
and then bring that soil level up too.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, they look healthy. They strong.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They look
Right.
real healthy. So here's my little basil babies. Yeah, I tasted basil for the first time last year. It was so delicious.
Yeah. I
It looks
love
Yeah,
good.
it's so sweet. So this is our Aries herb. We're gonna go ahead and get it in the ground. I just scoop it out gently. You don't want to disturb your plant too much. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there got another sprout. Okay. I'm doing some goofy stuff sometimes. So I didn't think my stuff was gonna sprout. And what I did was came out here and took the little hand tiller and tilled it. And so now they sprouting way down deep in the ground.
Oh,
That's some goofy shit. I'm so mad at myself. Like,
oh,
what you
look what
doing?
wait, let me show you what I got yesterday. And if anybody can give me some advice, please let me know. So I got this from Lowe's yesterday. It's a citrus specialty. I don't know. Not onions, I'm sorry. Lemons, oranges, and lime. Now, should I keep that in that container or should I actually transplant that?
Let me see the top of it. Oh, let me see. Let me see the side of the container. It's a patio tree. I would get slightly a bigger container because it's a big tree already.
Okay.
And I
So
would
get it.
just yeah, and I would try to get the same kind of container that it's in. So all
Okay.
you have to do is just don't water that, let it dry out a little bit. So when you turn that container over, it comes directly out. And then for your new pot, you just want 2 to 3 inches of extra new soil. So you're gonna put the dirt in there and like dig like a hole so it can fit. But don't forget when you take your tree out, turn it over. When you get the roots, crunch up the roots, like break them apart a little.
Okay.
So when you put it in that new soil, it can grow outwardly and it won't still be growing in that shape.
Okay. Should I actually because it says it can grow indoors or outdoors. So would it be better to grow outdoors with the natural sun? You know what I mean?
Was it sitting outdoors when you at the store?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely would keep it in the outdoor. The problem with trees and bringing them out, you see my avocados, it's because they've been raised inside for a long time.
Okay.
And so with trees, you want to get them outside as soon as possible.
Okay.
Oh, the garage open. Look, I'll show y'all these blueberries. I'm gonna go in there in a minute.
I started to get a blueberry tree yesterday.
Yeah, so with your berries, they like real acidic environment. So for your blueberries, your raspberries, and your blackberries, you want to get a soil acidifier and add it into the potting soil. And then they also have a feeding mix just for berries. It's by Epsoma, and I think the name is like berry mix or something. But if you do that, you want to make sure the soil is gonna help them. It's the environment necessary for that particular plant. And so with the blueberries, they have a variety that you can get specifically for containers. Of course, we know that wouldn't be your typical the original blueberries. Blueberries grow in the wild on decaying wood and stuff. And so when you're making your pie, they found in the wild on decaying matter. So you want to make sure that you do mix in like some wood chips if you do get the blueberry bush in your soil as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I took too long.
You did?
Yeah, so all of the other trees, the guy sold out. All the pear trees, the apple trees. He had so many.
Wow.
So all he had left was blueberries and grapes. Yep, sold out.
Yeah, I'm sprouting some grape seeds too. This is a tree in my yard that I said is lonely. It's the only tree and it's an Asian pear tree.
Oh, wow.
But it will never produce any fruit because it doesn't have anything to pollinate it. And so all we get is these really, really small pears. We still try to eat them, but they're just not as tasty. And so at least your banana trees got company. On the rest of the trees around here, if y'all like pecans, let me know. I'll gather them up. We have like 5 pecan trees. And so they are everywhere.
Yes.
You like pecan? Look, you just have to pay for the shipping. I will mail them. It's a lot. Yeah. Just let me know. And I'm finna show y'all my sproutings. Then we're gonna get out of here. I didn't show y'all the sproutings in the house. I gotta repot the onion. So these are my little babies in the house. This is my MJ. Got 2. Everything likes to be grown in pairs. These are my Indian money plants. This one is really long. I don't know. And these are my okra plants. Nothing else has sprouted but the okra. And then over here, the watermelon had to be repotted. And over here is the kale and the cucumber. And so behind here is the watermelon. The watermelon is huge.
Oh, let me see the watermelon.
You said what?
I said, let me see the watermelon.
Hold on.
I'm gonna put mine inside some water today. Oh wow. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. And these are the strawberries. The other container down there, the silver one, that's strawberries too.
Oh wow. Let's go, girl.
Yeah, so with any kind of berry, they also don't like a soil that is gonna retain too much moisture. And so be careful not to overwater your strawberries. I did that the first year and it killed them. They were off to a beautiful start, but they died. Does anybody else have any more questions?
No, but I just wanna show y'all. Can y'all see that? It's a
What is
band.
that?
Right there, he is on a horse.
Oh, I want a
He got his
horse.
saddle on. He got a saddle on his horse. Okay, he is going.
I know that's right. He said, "Bump that gas, man."
Yup, that's
Period.
it.
Yes.
That's just so cool.
I wanted to see sell his horse manure. Look, I want a horse to see how much.
Right. Yes,
I have a bag on the back of my horse booty.
that part. Yep, that part. Put it right in the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's so
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Oh, I gotta show y'all the hummingbird feeders. So we put these in. We've been seeing hummingbirds, and so they just come up. They grab on the little ledge. They kind of creepy looking to me, but you know, they are, girl. The beak is so long, and so one day one flew on the porch, and I was so scared it was gonna stab me with the beak.
Oh my gosh.
That came from watching that movie, The Birds. I'm telling you. Yeah, if y'all don't have no questions, we'll go ahead and go, and I'll post the information in the video later.
All righty. Have a good day.
You.
All right, you all too, and don't forget
All right,
to
thank you.
write down your being grateful.
Okay.
Things you're grateful
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay.
for. All right.
All right.
Peace,
All right, y'all. Peace and love.